What's going on, Cougar fans? Peter Borkowski here on the Cougar Sports Network, bringing you this edition of Coaches Weekly. And once again, I'm joined by head coach of CUC Women's Volleyball, Coach Palmer. Welcome back to the show. Excited to talk to you today.
Yeah, you as well.
Well, let's go back to this past Thursday. You guys had a very exciting win at Benedictine, a thrilling 5-set victory over Benny. Benny won that 4-set to 4-set, 5th set, but you guys came back in that 5th set, able to claim the victory. And last time we talked about, overcoming those close matches, playing extra volleyball, playing up to 5 sets, and you guys turn around and you did exactly that on Thursday night. So I'm sure as head coach that felt pretty good to see.
Yeah, it felt really good. We came out firing in the first set and really kind of took charge of that set and then kind of gave it up a little bit, but was able to take a 2-1 set lead. And had a chance to close it out in 4 and just let that slip away in extra points. I mean, it took their best hitting performance up to that point of the night in sets to push us to 5. And so, we just really talked about, staying the course and staying in what we were doing and making, continuing to adjust to them, defensively. And so we were able to kind of overcome and then attack them on the service line and take the match. So,
right. And having a nice performance for your team was Michaela Levoy. 7 kills, a 636 attacking percentage, very clean volleyball, also had a pair of blocks, and maybe doesn't get, all the name calling that players like Haywood and Vernango will, but she's an integral part to this team, especially in terms of up front, middle blocking. She had a good freshman campaign, and she seems to be building on that her sophomore year.
Yeah, absolutely. Someone that's just really taken the adjustments to how I like to use my middles, really to heart every day in practice and asking questions, and you're starting to see that start to pay off. You're starting to see those little things that we talk about in practice every day get implemented in the game. So you're really starting to see her take hold of that.
Right. And then Saturday didn't go the way that CUC wanted it to. You were swept at St. Norbert, a very good St. Norbert team, won those sets by quite a few points. But, I mean, how do you guys build off of that loss? You got a big couple conference games coming up as we hit really the middle of conference play. Now it's kind of crunch time for your team. So how do you guys move forward after that sweep at St. Norbert?
Yeah, it's getting back. I didn't like kind of how we just approached the game in general.
Okay.
That's a very good team in St. Norbert, but I think that we were, we didn't handle the adversity well of traveling and playing. And so that's something that we talked about, and just coming into every match, regardless of where we're at, home, on the road, 10 hours away, 30 minutes away, just being able to get in and handle our business and play the way we want to play. And so I've liked the response in practice so far this week, and so hopefully we can continue to carry that over now into games.
And that next game is here at CUC tomorrow night. You guys host Edgewood. And after, you kind of mentioned, after a couple games on the road, I'm sure it'll feel good for you and your team to get back in Geisman, which is always an electric atmosphere on volleyball nights, and have a couple home games in a row now to kind of pick up some integral wins here in the middle of conference play. So can you just talk about how much of an advantage it is to be able to play here in Geisman at this point in the season?
Yeah, it's always nice to be at home. It's one of those comfort things. You're in it every day. You're in practice. In your own gym, you kind of know the facility. You know what to expect out of the crowd. It's a good time, and so it's nice to be home, with our family and taking care of business. And so we got a big game in Edgewood on Thursday night, and then another home one on Saturday against MSOE. And so those are 2 big games for us in conference that we really we can't take lightly.
Right, and that MSOE game will also be Senior Day. Your seniors, a good group of seniors as well, getting honored on Saturday against MSOE. So I mean, just can you kind of feel that coming from your team that this is a really big game in terms of not only conference play, but being able to honor your seniors, hopefully send them home with a win on their senior night? Just kind of what are the feelings around the team coming into this Senior Day match? Yeah,
it's always special to have players that come into your program and be there all 4 or 5 years, for Grace Haywood, picking up her 5th year, but just, someone that's people that have been part of our program for so long and made an impact, it's great to be able to honor them and do it on our home court. And, again, a big conference game, I think I wouldn't ask for anything better than that.
Definitely. Well, CUC Women's Volleyball, they're back at it tomorrow night right here at CUC. They're hosting Edgewood at 7 p.m. Coverage can be found at our website, cucougars.com, and the live stream on our YouTube page, CUC Sports. Coach Palmer, thanks again for joining me today, and good luck over the next couple games. Excited to talk to you again at the same time next week. But until then, this is Peter Borkowski signing off of the Cougar Sports Network and wanting to say, as always, go Cougars.
Good evening and welcome to Concordia University Chicago here in River Forest as we get set for tonight's women's volleyball action between your Concordia University Chicago Cougars and the visiting Eagles of Edgewood College. Pete Borkowski here on the Cougar Sports Network, bringing you tonight's presentation of this game between two NAC teams who are looking to each pick up a win and keep this season moving along as we are rapidly hitting the home stretch of this 2023 season. We are just about in the middle of conference play, so things are getting interesting. Let's go over the records really quick here. Edgewood, they're coming in top of the conference, 11-4 overall, 4-0 in conference play. They're going to look to keep that undefeated streak alive here tonight at Concordia, Chicago. Meanwhile, the hosting Cougars, they're coming in tonight 7-9 overall in play, 1-3 in conference play. That one win came just 2 matches ago, a 3-2 win against Benedictine at Benedictine. But if you could hear it, that is the horn going off here in Geisman. So we're going to send it down to the court now for starting lineups and national anthem. And when we're back in just 1 minute, we'll have tonight's game between your Concordia University Chicago Cougars and the visiting Edgewood Eagles.
Hello, I'm Dr. Russell Dawn, President of Concordia University Chicago. Thank you for tuning in to today's Cougar Athletics broadcast. We take great pride in the strength of both our athletic and academic programs, which are rooted in our steadfast commitment to Jesus Christ. Dedicated to the liberal arts as a foundation of a high-quality college degree, we believe education should form individuals for service to their neighbors. This makes Concordia Chicago an exciting and fulfilling place to study, work, learn, and grow. Learn more today by visiting cuchicago.edu. Thank you, and go Cougars!
Starting lineups have been read. The national anthem has been played. So let's go through those starters one by a time for everybody watching at home. First, for the visiting Eagles of Edgewood College, the libero is number 13, Genesee Willie. And then number 1, middle hitter Hannah Clark. Number 4, outside hitter Ashley Bruhlman. Number 8, the setter Abby Evans. Number 11, outside hitter Abigail Hoffman. Number 12, outside hitter Katie Borhart. And at number 16, middle hitter Abby Falk. Coaching the Eagles are assistants Tom Shea, Katie Mikutowski, Kimby Hughes, and the head coach of the Eagles is Paul Schlomer in his 18th season with the squad. Meanwhile, for the Cougars of CUC, the libero is number 8, Shira Marin, and then number 1, outside hitter Acacia Brown. Number 2, opposite side hitter Eve Dickin. Number 7, setter Isabel Vernango. Number 12, outside hitter Grace Haywood. Number 13, the freshman outside hitter Rachel Livesey. And number 14, middle blocker Michaela Levoy. Coaching the Cougars are assistant coach Michaela Fincher and head coach in his first year with the team, Andrew Palmer. Cougars will be attacking right to left to start here, while the Eagles will be going left to right. Eagles wearing their black jerseys with red sleeves. Meanwhile, the Cougars, they'll be rocking their home maroons with gold lettering. Libero for the Eagles, Genesee Willie, wearing the pink jersey, while Shira Marin, the libero for the Cougars, in white. Eagles going short sleeve for this matchup. Cougars with the long sleeve jerseys. As we're going to get underway here in Geisman. First serve of the night from Abby Evans. Grace Haywood gives it to Isabel Vernango, sets up Eve Dickin. Genesee Willie's right there. This attack stopped by Shira Marin. Vernango's going to set up Haywood. An attack there by Haywood ends in a kill. Grace Haywood strikes first for CUC, and the Cougars, they're on the board 1-0. Grace Haywood doing what she usually does this season. Second in the NAC in kills per set with 3.89. She is second in points per set at 4.38. As this attempt goes out, Cougars will take a 2-0 lead. In terms of serving, Grace Haywood, 27 service aces on the year. That leads the squad, as she hasn't had one yet tonight. As this attack, it is going to be ruled in the line. So point Edgewood, they get on the board, cut the lead in half, 2-1 now. As going back to serve will be the graduate student Ashley Bruhlman. She's having a fantastic season in her own right, though she serves up an error there. Bruhlman, 4th in the conference in points per set at 4.21. It's a few ticks below where Grace Haywood is, number 12, a 5th year with the Cougars, as Shira Marin's first serve of the night is straight in the net. So teams trade back-to-back service errors, and going back to serve now is Genesee Willie. Willie, a freshman out of Grafton, Wisconsin, getting a big role as starting libero for this Edgewood team. In terms of Willie's season product, she's sitting at a team leading 232 digs, 4.14 a set, as we got a good volley on our hands here. Eve Dickin, her attack is curved to Edgewood. They're on the prowl now. This one off the top of Vernango's hands and on the ground. Point Edgewood. They tie things up here 3-3. Genesee Willie back to serve once more. The freshman tips the top of the net. Ball is still alive. Vernango for Acacia Brown. She slams it down. Acacia Brown, her first season in a Cougars uniform, a transfer originally from Addison, Illinois. Same place Concordia University Chicago is originally from. As that's going to be a bad reception off the hands of Katie Borhart. Basically died off her hands, hit the ground. Cougars, they take a 2-point lead here, as back to serve is Eve Dickin. Dickin serve is in the air. Eagles on the attack. There's a strong attack from Borhard. It just lands out of bounds. Another Cougars point. They take a 3-point lead now. Eve Dickin, her serve is over the net. Eagles, they're going to try to get a point here. They do. They get one back. They stop the mini CUC run, pull within 2, 6-4. Going back to serve is Abigail Hoffman, a junior from Hartford, Wisconsin. Hoffman's serve is good enough. Cougars able to play it. Here comes Livesay. She's blocked at the net. Cougars get it back. Livesay's going to go for it again. It's blocked again, and Edgewood, they get the point off a 4-touch call on CUC. That makes it 6-5. Concordia barely hanging on to this lead now, as at one point it was 6-3. As back to serve is Hoffman once more. The junior, her serve is good. Right to Livesay. Vernango, she's going to go for Brown. Brown's attempt is good for a kill. It's landed just inside the line. And the serve now is Livesay. Rachel Livesay, a freshman, getting the start today as she'll launch a service error there. Livesay actually leads the team in service aces per set at .5. Grace Haywood does have more, but she's also played more sets. As here's a serve from Kate Gunderson, and Grace Haywood, a strong attack. Eagles have to send a freebie over. Tipped off the hands of Acacia Brown. Now Grace Haywood will send a floater. That one is stopped by Hoffman. Marin to Vernango. Here comes Brown. She tries to slam it down. Ball still alive, but not for long. CUC, they grab another point. Increase their lead, 8-6. Here in the first set, still early goings in tonight's matchup. As back to serve is Acacia Brown. Her serve is played by Edgewood. Strong attack blocked up front. Levoy and Vernango. This one hits a blocker's hand. Unfortunately touches the ground. It's off the combined efforts of Levoy and Haywood. Cougars aren't able to play it off the block though. Now it'll be serve from Abby Falk. Falk, too much sauce on it. That one, it goes out the back. Point. Cougars 9-7 their lead now. Falk, usually a very efficient player, second in the conference in a hitting percentage at .295. Also first in block per sets at 1. Can't get it done on the service line, however. CUC back in control offensively. Now they are in the volley as here comes Vernango to Haywood. Haywood a floater. It's picked up by Bruhlman. She goes sprawling on the ground, runs back into play. Cougars, now they send an attack, and it's blocked. Bruhlman as well as Clark. Bruhlman all the way out of bounds on the ground, got back up, sprinted back into play, and was able to help out on that block. That's what you call a hustle play. And she brings her team within one of CUC. 9-8 now. Back to serve is Abby Evans, the setter out of Denver, Colorado. Her serve played by the Cougars. There's a strong attempt for a kill. Cougars back up by 2 as Grace Haywood, she goes back to the service line. Haywood, her serve. It's popped up. The Eagles on the attack. Blocked up front and out. Eagles point. Eve Dickin as well as Michaela Levoy got hands on that block. 10-9 the score now as the serve is Ashley Bruhlman, the grad student. A strong serve, way too much on it as that goes out the back of play. 11-9 is the Cougar lead. CUC trying to rebound after a tough loss against St. Norbert this past Saturday. 3-0 at the hands of the Green Knights. And none of the sets were relatively close for CUC. 25-16, 25-14, 25-8 is how the Green Knights took down this Cougars team. So CUC trying to rebound after a tough outing. And the Pure, Wisconsin. Right around the Green Bay area, St. Norbert's located. They're doing good so far here. 11-10 against a conference-leading Eagles squad. Edgewood still on the attack after that ball. Stayed on the net for a second. Livesey is blocked, and then just bopping it up off her arm is Brown. I don't think she even intended to do that. This ball is up. It's going to take a play off the ceiling. Marin and Vernango both there, and then Eve Dickin able to send it over. Here's a strong attempt. Ball still bouncing around. Marin can't get enough on it. Dies down for the Edgewood point, and we're all knotted up at 11. There's a strong attempt from Dickin. Rocks the net. As that attempt from Ruhlman hits the net. Back to serve is Dickin. Eve Dickin, 12-11. Her serve is good, just barely over the net. As here's an attempt blocked up front. Shire Marin is right there to keep it going. Now it's going to be Livesey's turn. She gets denied at the net. A little tip by Brown. It's still alive. Brown has to hit it back up. Brown now goes for the slam. Nothing there. Vernango. Here comes Haywood. Haywood, a floater over the net. Edgewood able to handle it with ease. Now they'll go on the attack. Eve Dickin digs it up. Here comes Livesey. Blocked again. Livesey cannot beat that blocking wall. As Haywood tries her shot from the back row. We are still going in this volley. Dickin now to Vernango. Vernango's just going to flip it over, but Willie's right there. And an attempt there hits the net off the attack from Bohart. And finally, the Cougars win that volley, and that's going to force a timeout by Schlomer and Edgewood. His team trailing the Cougars 13-11. As we head into a break here in Geisman Gymnasium, and when we come back, set one action will resume on the Cougar Sports Network.
Hey Cougar fans, thanks for tuning into today's game. For more information about the women's volleyball program, head to cucougars.com. We hope to see you at our next game.
$13 to 11 your score here in Geisman Gymnasium. Cougars on top of the Eagles. As we get set to resume action here following the Edgewood timeout. Eve Dickin at the service line. Dickin, a junior out of St. Louis, Missouri. Kirkwood High School alumni. Lutheran South alumni from the Kirkwood area. Lutheran South alumni as she gets a kill there. And speaking of St. Louis, Nelly comes over the speaker system for Dickin's serve. Showing some 3-1-4 support as her serve is over. Here's an attempt, and it goes out. Was it touched by CUC? It was not. Point Cougars, 15-11 now. Make it a 4-0 scoring run for CUC. 15-11. Eve Dickin's serve is just over the net. Edgewood has to control it. Here comes Borhart. Rachel Livesey's right there. And Acacia Brown a little too hard on that attempt. It goes out. And Edgewood will get a chance to serve now. It'll be Abigail Hoffman once more. Hoffman, her serve is off the receiver's hands and out, so she'll get a point off of it as her team's got a little hole to dig out of. Cougars 10 away from the 25-point mark, while Edgewood 2 behind CUC. Serve played by Livesay. Here comes Brown on aerial attack, blocked at the net. Falk was in the vicinity. It's going to be hard to get anything past her. Leads the conference in blocks per set. Way too strong an attempt off the hands of Zoe Pond. And the Cougars able to break Edgewood's mini scoring run, and Rachel Livesay will serve now. Livesay, very strong serve, goes out, point Edgewood. Service error on the freshman as Edgewood subs out Borhart. They're going to bring in the serve, number 14, Kate Gunderson, sophomore out of Edgerton, Wisconsin. Gunderson. Serve played by Livesay to Vernango by Hayward. Haywood can't get anything on it. Over the blocker's hands and down. Zoe Pond gets the kill, redeems herself after that one error, and now Edgewood all of a sudden down by just one. 16-15, still serving is Gunderson. Vernango's going to try to set up Brown. Is at the net. Brown keeps it alive, however. Livesay sends over the freebie. Edgewood has to do something with it now. Ball still alive, barely, and it's dunked down by Falk. And we are all tied up here in Geisman. Edgewood, a big comeback as they are now on a 3-0 scoring run. 16-16 your score. Vernango. This one looks like a trouble, but Eve Dickin able to get it over with the free ball. And Ullman shows why she's one of the league leaders in points per set. And because of it, Edgewood takes a 17-16 point lead, and that'll force a timeout from coach of the Cougars, Andrew Palmer, as his team suddenly finds themselves trailing by one. 17-16 here in Geisman, but today's contest is in partnership with the non-profit organization, Helinski's Hope, which honors the life of former Washington State quarterback Tyler Helinski, who tragically died by suicide in 2018. The Helinski's Hope Foundation focuses on prioritizing mental health awareness within college athletics in hopes of creating a world where mental health is supported in parity with physical health. For more information on the Helinski's Hope Foundation and the story of Tyler Helinski's life, all you have to do is visit helinskishope.org. One more time, that is helinskishope.org. A great cause being supported here at CUC as well as across the nations. Many schools across all three levels of the NCAA are getting in on the Helinski's Hope celebration and support. Student athletes and players are being encouraged to wear green all week. It's Student Athlete Mental Health Week, As you can see on the live stream, some of the green balloons and streamers found throughout Geisman. Some of the players were given Helinski's Hope hairbands, hair ties, and bracelets and stickers and all sorts of good stuff to show their support for a really noble cause. But we'll have more information on the Helinski's Hope movement as the night goes on. Meanwhile, here in Geisman, Edgewood has now taken an 18-16 point lead, scoring the first point after that CUC timeout. Haywood, a big block up front. Cougars are having trouble getting past those near side blockers. Falk is always in the vicinity, number 16 in black. Standing at 6 foot, a senior out of Milton, Wisconsin. Edgewood has a couple of 6-footers on their squad. CUC only has one 6-foot player, as they now trail Edgewood 19-17 here Serve is Carissa Lind, a junior on the CUC team. Her serve is played by Edgewood. Cougars get the ball back as Vernango's going to go for Haywood. Haywood off the blocker's hands, going up for it is Willie. Here comes Brulman. Carissa Lind right there. Vernango to Haywood. You'll hear that connection a lot. That one's unsuccessful. Blocked up front and out of bounds over the ladder judge's head. And because of it, Edgewood, they've reached the 20-point mark. 20-17 our score here in Geisman in favor of the visiting Eagles. The serve is number 15, Kennedy Kabat. Serve is good as here comes Haywood, blocked up front. Goes out of bounds, however, and that'll lead to a CUC point. The serve is Vernango. Cougars need a little comeback here, down by a pair late in the stages of set number 1. As there's an attempt popped up by Shira Marin. Willie receives that attempt from the Cougars. Brulman, Marin. Here comes Vernango to Haywood off the blocker's hand, still alive. Edgewood still on the offensive, and it's blocked by Haywood and Levoy, but hits the net, and that'll be point 21 for the Eagles. As they bring in to serve number 8, Abby Evans, checking in as a starter in this game. Evans' serve is very short with a high arc. The Cougars able to play it. Evans now goes for Brulman. An absolute rocket hits the ground. And because of it, Edgewood 3 away from claiming set 1. Serving again is Evans, the freshman setter. She has 5 assists so far tonight as the Cougars work on playing her kill. Whistle blows. Violation on the Eagles, so CUC gets a point. They pull back within 3. Grace Haywood at the service line. And it just sneaks in the line. Clean service ace there for Grace Haywood. Snipes it in, and the Cougars cut it down to 2 now. 22-20 in favor of Edgewood. Grace Haywood wants to keep cutting that lead down. A strong serve played by Willie. Here comes Brulman, and she finds the back corner. 23-20 now. Brulman set for a serve. A standing serve, no running start either. Just swatted it over as Grace Haywood, an absolute missile, goes off the hands of Willie and out. And it is now 23-21. One over the net. Liv stays right there. Evans. That one off the blocker's hands and down. Brown and Livesay making the magic happen. And the Cougars, they pull within 1. 23-22. Serving is Marin. Edgewood 2 away from claiming set 1. Cougars making things interesting as Edgewood now 1 away from claiming set 1. Match set point here, excuse me. As going to serve is Genesee Willie. Willie, her serve played by CUC. Here comes Brown off the blocker's hands and down. Tasia Brown keeping her team in it. Cougars, they need at least 1 more point here to even up this set and force extra volleyball. You need a win by 2. Edgewood can do that here with a kill. As there's a strong attempt off Eve Dickens' arms and out, and that'll do it for set number 1. The Edgewood Eagles are going to take it by just a pair, 25-23. As we head into set 2, the Eagles 1-0 match lead over the Cougars. And when we come back in a minute on the Cougar Sports Network, we'll have that set 2 action for you, as well as some of the stats from set 1. And we'll be back in just a minute.
CUC nursing student and choose to stand tall for healing at a university that places Christ at the center and embraces teaching students to live a life fulfilled by purpose and meaning. Concordia University Chicago's new Bachelor of Science in Nursing degree is an innovative and rigorous 4-year program that will prepare you to rise to the daily challenges of a rewarding nursing career and serve a greater cause. Our newly built modern simulation center features 4 distinct spaces, a skills attainment lab, multi-specialty intensive care spaces, a health assessment learning center, and a simulated home environment. Due to our close proximity to many world-class teaching hospitals, CUC's clinical rotations offer an abundance of diverse and real-world experiences. Learn more about earning your BSN at a Christ-centered university today.
Second set about to kick off here in Geisman Gymnasium. The Eagles, they lead the Cougars 1-0 after their 25-23 set 1 victory. Let's look at some of the stat leaders from that first set. In terms of kills, there's a 3-way tie for first. On the Edgewood side, it's Ashley Brulman and Abigail Hoffman, while Concordia, it's Grace Haywood. All 3 of those players have 5 kills each. In terms of assists, it is Isabel Vernango. Her 9 barely edges out Abby Evans' 8. And as for digs, there's a tie between the 2 teams. Liberos, Shira Marin has 8, and Genesee Willie has 8 as well. Blocks, no player has more than 1. As for hitting percentage, Eagles outdueling the Cougars 214 to 085. One of the bigger separators in tonight's matchup. On the season, the Cougars have a hitting percentage of 135. That is good for 9th in the conference, while Edgewood, they're all the way up at 3rd at a 203 hitting percentage. So nearly opposite ends of the spectrums for the Cougars and Eagles in terms of hitting percentage. And the Eagles hold the advantage in this game so far, and that gives them the 1-set lead as we await the start of set 2 here. Coach Palmer figuring out his substitutions, brings in Shire Marin as Acacia Brown checks out. Kate Foley also in the game for the Cougars. We did not have a chance to see her in the first set, or at least her name was not called. So Coach Palmer going with a different look here in set number 2. And it'll start with a serve by his setter, Isabel Vernango. Vernango's serve played by Willie. As here comes Falk, a strong attack blocked up front. Haywood, Levoy making it happen. Teamwork makes the dream work. As going back to serve now is Isabel Vernango. Now with a 1-0 lead in set number 2. Vernango, her serve. It's popped up. And whistle blows. Violation on Edgewood. 2-touch rule called. And that'll give the Cougars a 2-0 lead now as Vernango set to serve again. Hopefully not for the last time, as she wants to keep this train rolling. Cougars did jump out to a lead in set 1, if it's worth noting that. And then Edgewood obviously ended up taking it. But there's a service ace for Isabel Vernango. The senior gets service ace to number 20 on the season. And because of it, Cougars up 3-0 now here in set 1. Falk, she's blocked again, but this time it squeaks through the blocker's hands and the net. And Edgewood breaks the scoreless streak here in set 2, as back to the line to serve is Abigail Hoffman. Hoffman's serve goes right to Foley. Here comes Vernango for a Haywood. A strong attempt. Does it stay in? It does not. And it'll make it 3-2 now in favor of CUC. Back to serve and looking to tie this one up is Hoffman. Abigail Hoffman. Her serve goes to Haywood, who sends it to Vernango. She's going to go for deep. Dickin. There's a strong attempt. Popped all the way up by Brulman. Freebie sent Dickin's way as Vernango goes to Haywood. Blocked up front. Ball still alive, and it's down. Falk lost sight of it. She was spinning around, lost. And because of the ball was able to hit the ground, Cougars back up to a multi-point lead here, 4-2. Haywood, her serve handled by the Eagles. And that attempt off the hands of Borhart finds some ground. And now Kate Gunderson, her serve. It's played by Haywood, now by Vernango. And that one hits the pin before it reaches the hands of Foley. So Gunderson will get another serve. We're tied up here, 4-4. Vernango. Cougars send one over. As here comes Foley. Edgewood is waving their fingers. There will be a violation on the Cougars, which means Edgewood takes a 5-4 lead here in set number 2. Vernango eventually able to get it over, and now touching the ground is the ball for another Edgewood point. 6-4 now for the Eagles. Gunderson. Her serve an arc into the hands of Marin. Here comes Haywood. A floater is stopped by Brulman. And now Pond will punch it over. Vernango's right there. And Marin, a high setup for Dickin. She's able to play it, and Willie kind of mishandled it. Edgewood able to make the most of it, however, as they get a point in the end. 7-4 the score now. As Gunderson will serve once more. Gunderson's serve hits the net. That means the Cougars point, 7-5 now. Back to serve is Marin, Shiver Marin, a junior out of Rio Grande, Puerto Rico. As her serve eventually turns to an Edgewood point. And it'll be 8-5 now in favor of the Eagles. Still at the service line in the form of Falk. Falk's serve is a good one. The Cougars have to respond. They do, and they do it in a big way with a point. They're going to cut this lead down a bit, 8-5 now. 8-6, excuse me. Scoreboard just updated. As Eve Dickin, her serve. Played by Edgewood. A strong attempt there from Zoe Pond. Beats all of the Cougars' defense. Makes it a 9-6 lead. The serve is number 8, Abby Evans. Cougars in control of it. Haywood finds a diving Willie. She gets a bad angle on that touch. It touches the ground, which means CUC pulls within 2, 9-7. Okay, Foley now. Sophomore. Second season with the Cougars. Her serve is played by Edgewood. Now it's got to be played by CUC. Here comes Haywood. A strong attempt. Goes all the way to the back wall. Off the bounce. 10-7 now. Edgewood leads. CUC not able to put a string of points together, which is what they need to tie this one up. As back to serve is Bruman. Bruman. A very strong serve off the top of Haywood's hands and out. Haywood could not handle the heat off Bruman's serve. Ashley Bruman leads the team in service aces coming into tonight's contest with 33. As she gets a tip off the net, a favorable one. Cougars still have to play to Kasia Brown. A strong hit right into the blocker's hands. Dies down for the CUC point. Kasia Brown, just such a strong player on this Cougar squad. Always gets the most out of her attempts. And now Kate Foley lays out for a dig. And Edgewood, they can't handle it in front of the net. Eventually hit it under the net. Can't do that. So 11-9 now in favor of Edgewood. Cougars trying to creep back in. We're going to try to go to Bohart, It goes nowhere, and then off the blocker's hands, Eve Dickin can't get it. 12-9 in favor of Edgewood. Serving is Willie. Fernango goes for Haywood. A strong attempt. Did it touch some fingers? It did. Off the talons of an Eagle player now, which makes it 12-10 now. Still in favor of Edgewood, but CUC keeping this within a couple points. Fernango, her serve played by Bruman, and blocked up front but out of bounds off the hands of Haywood and or Levoy, and because of it, it is 13-10 now in favor of Edgewood. Eagles doing a good job keeping this one a multi-point lead. CUC able to pull within 2 before Edgewood pulls away again, as there's a weird bounce off the hands of Marin, and way too strong an attempt from Haywood. Makes it 14-10 now. Edgewood desperately trying to find some separation here. Foley to Fernango. Here comes Dickin. Dickin, a cross-court attack. Willie's right there. And that's too strong an attempt. Goes out the sideline. Serve by Haywood, too strong, goes out for a service error. (15-11). Gunderson to serve. Gunderson serves right into the net. She's got a few service aces tonight, number 14 in black. And because of it, Cougars back within 3, 15-12. Shira Marin to serve. Shira Marin, she gives up a service error. Points, the teams trade them. And Edgewood back up to a 4-point lead as Falk to serve now. Abby Falk, her serve played by Marin. Here comes Foley. There's Falk falling to a knee. And now Bruman just pushes it over. As Acacia Brown off Falk's hand. They catch Falk in the back row, which is where you want to find number 16. She's not able to make the play. And the Cougars, 16-13, they trail. As Eve Dickin to serve. Bad serve on Eve Dickin's part. 17-13 the score now. Into the game and serving is Evans. CUC's bench trying to make some noise to distract Evans. It's a futile effort as Acacia Brown instead has to send over an attack. There's a nice defensive play. Willie as well as Evans to keep it up. Ball was down, it hit a foot and eventually hits our scores table. So point will go to Edgewood in dramatic fashion, and that's going to force a CUC timeout as Coach Palmer and his squad, they trail Edgewood 17-13. The Cougars women's volleyball team, they're supporting Helinski's Hope on the court, while Cougar fans, you guys are only able to pick up Helinski's Hope bracelets and CUC mental health bracelets, as well as other various resources from today's event in support of mental health. So if you're able to make it to the later stages of this game, if you're listening and you're at the game, we got a little table set up outside the entrance of the gym with a bunch of little goodies that everyone can take. Some of the players sporting some of the items, as I described earlier, hair ties, bracelets. I believe there are some wash away tattoos, temporary tattoos. Those are always fun. All that right outside the entrance of the gym. So if you're in the area and feel like helping support, again, what is a really, really noble cause, feel free to stop by Geisman Gymnasium and then check out some women's volleyball while you're at it. They are trailing Edgewood 18-13 here in set number 2. They trail the match 1-0. And looking at the score, CUC, the score sheet, CUC still having some troubles in the hitting category. They're hitting just .061. They have an 11 attack errors, 6 service errors. So they're having trouble playing some cleaner volleyball. Granted, Edgewood is about equal, 10 attack errors and 6 service errors, but they're also at a .220 hitting percentage, so a little cleaner in the hitting much cleaner in the hitting percentage, I should say, which is helping make up for those about even error numbers. Either way, we resume play here after the CUC timeout. Acacia Brown looks to jumpstart the Cougars' offensive effort. She cannot, as Edgewood's defense is right there. This one just barely over the net. Edgewood able to keep onto it. CUC now back in control. Vernango pushes one over. Kate Foley at the net, palms it. And there's a block. Foley and Brown into the stand. CUC building a brick wall here in Geisman. It pays off. They pull within 4 1/2 of that brick wall. Kate Foley to the service line now. Edgewood in control. A strong attack from Bruman. She's got a cannon for an arm, and it pays off there. So hard to receive her attacks and dig them. Bruman stands at 5'10", a graduate student out of Argyle, Wisconsin. And just an absolute rocket. She displays it there as Kate Foley's dig goes back over the net. That attempt off the hand of Hannah Clark. Haven't had to call her name yet. That goes out. CUC back within 4, 19-15. Bristol Lynn to serve now. And a junior out of St. Charles, Missouri, and she ends up getting a point out of it. Edgewood can't handle her serve. And now she'll get another chance to serve here. Point for Edgewood means it's time for Genesee Willie to serve. CUC trying to control her serve. Grace Haywood, she sends it right back to Willie. And now Brumans. She says hello, sends a strong shot over, and Edgewood gets a point out of it. Bruman having herself a night here. 9 kills, that leads all players. A 368, 10 kills, 400 hitting percentage. Our stat program just updated. So Bruman having a ton of kills and doing it very effectively as Kate Foley goes down for that dig. Nice defensive play, but Grace Haywood, she cannot find the space over the net on that attempt. And that'll be another timeout here. So we're going to head to a break here on the Cougar Sports Network, and when we come back, Edgewood trying to close out the Cougars here in set 2. They lead 22-16 in Geisman Gymnasium.
We love the support you give us on and off the field. To donate to our athletic communications department, hit the thank you button below. This helps us continue to have the best live stream possible for some great Cougar volleyball moments. Thank you and enjoy the game.
Back here in Geisman Gymnasium, Edgewood, they lead the Cougars 22-16 in a NAC matchup. Some action going on in River Forest tonight. Edgewood looks to remain undefeated in the Northern Athletic Collegiate Conference. They are 4-0, while the Cougars looking to pull to 2-3. As that attempt from Haywood, they're claiming it hit a eagle. The ladder official, showing no love to CUC's cause. And because of it, Edgewood going to go up 23-16. 2 away from taking a commanding 2-0 set lead here in Geisman. Eve Dickett from the back row. Right there is Willie Brumage. He's going to set up number 12, Borhart. Cougars back in control. Blocked up front. A 3-man team of Falk, Borhart, and number 11, Hoffman. Edgewood on the year, the best blocking team in the conference. 1.8 blocks per set. That ranks first. As I mentioned, a large part of that is the presence of Falk, but this is also a tall team. Hannah Clark, 5'11", Bruman, 5'10", Hoffman, 5'11", Kate Borhart, 6 foot. So this is a tall Eagles squad, and this is an Eagles squad who's going to take a 2-0 set lead in this match. That final kill makes the final score of set 2 25-17. Cougars have their work cut out for them. They're going to head to set 3 down 2-0. The Eagles just one set win away, 25 points from going 5-0 in conference play. The Cougars, they got to win 3 straight sets, however, if they want to be able to take this one away from the Eagles, snatch victory out of the jaws of defeat. But we'll see if they'll be able to do that when we come back on the Cougar Sports Network in just a second. Eagles up 2-0 on the Cougars.
Concordia University Chicago is a Christ-centered Lutheran university where truth, freedom, and vocation form students for lives of influence and service for the common good. Our university offers a wide variety of undergraduate and graduate degree options that are available in person and online. That means we have a program designed for you. Whether you're a high school student, an adult returning to complete your degree, or someone looking to enhance your credentials and prepare for career growth. As a member of this university community, you'll also find support in your spiritual and personal life so you can grow in the faith and discover ways to serve others. To start your next journey with us, visit cuchicago.edu today.
Concordia University Chicago prioritizes the mental well-being of all athletes and student athletes and offers a multitude of resources both on campus and off. Students can head over to cuchicago.edu for more information on CUC's counseling service, Student Athlete Mental Health Week here at Concordia University Chicago. So all the games that are being played this week are green out games in support of the Hunsky's Hope Foundation. Great cause, helping out and showing support for the mental health well-being of student athletes around the country. We'll have more information on that before the end of tonight's game. Meanwhile, in the game, the Edgewood Eagles looking to make that end of the game this very set. They lead 2-0 against the Cougars as we get ready to start set 3. Cougars have some work cut out for them after that 25-17 point loss in set 2. And Cougars just breaking up their huddle. They know what's at stake here in this game. They have picked up some momentum in their last couple of games, 3-4 in the last 3-1, in the last 4. However, 2 of those 3 wins were non-conference games in their last 4 conference games. The only 4 conference games they've played this year, they are 1-3, so they are in need of a win before that conference record starts looking a little too dour. As the coaches going over their final game plans. Coach Paul Schlomer, his 18th season with Edgewood. He's looking to close out this win while Coach Andrew Palmer, in his first season with the Cougars, he's looking to keep this going at least one more set. It's going to take an effort. As back to serve will be Abby Evans. Cougars able to play her serve. Here comes Kate Foley, pops it over. Evans is right there. Willie now. A strong attempt for Ullman. Does it go in? It does not. Out of bounds, CUC. They take the lead here in set number 3. A must-win set for the Cougars. Cougars did strike first in the last 2 sets, however, and Edgewood ended up winning both of them. So it might not be such a good indicator of who will end up winning this final set. As CUC, they get another point, up 2-0 now. Serving again is Foley, coming off a service ace, and she'll get another one. Kate Foley, she's on fire. Back-to-back service aces, exactly what the doctor ordered for CUC. They're up 3-0 as Edgewood needs to get a hold of themselves in terms of receiving the serve. Evans finds Ullman. Her attack goes out. Edgewood, they're calling for a tip. They get it. The line official talking to the far side official. That latter judge is Tara Dickerson, while Antoine Jackson is over near the table. Dale Litney and Russ Vondra are the line judges for tonight. As there's a service ace from Bruhlman, and Edgewood, as quickly as they were down 3-0, they are now down just 3-1. Shows you just how good this team is offensively. Can come back in a matter of seconds. Bruhlman can't find the inbounds line on that play. Cougars up 4-2. Checking in to go back and serve is Carissa Lind. Lind. Seen action in this game. Her serve is good. Here comes Hoffman off Lind's hands and out. CUC give up that point. 4-3 the score now in favor of Edgewood. Lind will check out. Brown will check in and then check right back out for Marin for rotation purposes. Marin now pops it up. Here comes Vernango, a sneak attack, and a great play there by Willie. Able to keep it going. Eve Dickin a dig. Grace Haywood now. Back corner to Bruhlman. Is this off the top of the hands? Down on her knees for it was Kate Foley. Here comes Eve Dickin, a strong attack. Falling to get it was Evans. We got ourselves a volley here as here comes Grace Haywood. Blocked up front. Does it stay in? It does not. CUC point. CUC wins a big volley, a long volley at that. They're now up 5-3. Vernango to serve. Vernango's serve, too much on it, goes out the back. No touch, so Edgewood picks up a point on the service error. Down 5-4 now as Hoffman goes back to serve. Abigail Hoffman, 7 kills. That's good for second on her team. Tied for third in the match with Acacia Brown on the CUC squad. As Grace Haywood pushes one over Edgewood, able to respond. Blocked up front. Is it good? It is. CUC kicking off the block party, and it is now 6-4 in favor of the Cougars. Grace Haywood. She's the Cougars kill leader with 9. Her serve has to be played by the Eagles. Shia Marin goes down for the dig. She sends it back over on the dig. 50-50 ball at the net. And Edgewood gets the point out of it. I'm going to say Cougar touched it on its way out of bounds. And because of it, Kate Gunderson has a chance to knot this one up. Number 14 in black sends the serve over. Here comes Kate Foley off the blocker's hands. Diving for it was Willie, and a monster shot there from Bruhlman. She's been doing that all night. She's strong and she's accurate. And because of that, she has a game-leading 12 kills. A .391 hitting percentage. She's having herself a night here in Geisman. As Kate Foley, a floater, is picked up by Hoffman. Haywood now for Vernango. Here comes Eve Dickin off the blocker's hands. Whistle blows, violation on Edgewood. So CUC gets the point, 7-6 to score in favor of the Cougars. Shire Marin. A strong attempt goes out. Last touch of Cougar. Point CUC. And this game now in favor of the Cougars, 8-7. Dickin, her serve is over. Here comes Hoffman to set up number 5, Reagan Doherty. First time we've called her name tonight. And then a violation on Edgewood gives another point to CUC. 9-7 now. Here comes Bruhlman. Haywood able to pop it up, keep it alive for CUC, and now a weird hit there off the hands of number 9, Corin Harrington. And Acacia Brown says it's jam time, slams it down 10-7, CUC on top. Eve Dickin to serve. Cougars fighting for their match lives here. They trail in the match 2-0, but they lead this one now 10-8 after Dickin's service error. Back to serve is Abby Evans. Serve to Haywood. Vernango picks up the assist on the Brown kill. Acacia Brown has just this way to flip the switch and take control of a game. She's doing that right now. She gives her Cougars an 11-8 lead. Kate Foley, her serve is a good one, and Edgewood can't handle it. Kate Foley turning into a service ace machine in this third set. She'll pick up service ace number 2 on the night. And how about another one? Kate Foley has been by far and away the best server of this set, maybe of the night. So many points off the service ace. She's got 3. Coming into the night, Foley, she was at 30, she was at 9. So has scored a third of her service aces, a fourth of her total service aces now in the year, in just tonight's matchup alone. As there's a strong service error from Bruhlman. Even when she misses, she still puts everything behind it. And because of it, it's 14-9 now. Krista Lind, her serve goes into the net, 14-10 the score. Krista Lind having some troubles in the serving category. As here comes Borhart, she gets the point. 14-11 the score. Cougars set the serve again here with Isabel Vernango. Edgewood trying to make something of this volley. Willie sends it over. Sixteen to 11. As Mikhail Levoy slams it down out of bounds, however. Point Edgewood. 16-12 in favor of the Cougars. They need to win this set here. Edgewood up 2-0 in the match. Trying to close it out here in set number 3. As back to serve is Abigail Hoffman. She has one service ace on the night. See if she can pick up another one. As Grace Haywood has to go into squat for that one. And now Cougars, they were on the attack. Edgewood, they got a service, an attack error off Berulman's attack. And that's going to force a timeout for the Eagles. And the Cougars, they're up 17-12 here in the set. They need to win this one to keep the match alive. Wanted to say, Cougar fans, you can continue to support Student Athlete Mental Health Week and the Linsky's Hope Foundation at the football game on Saturday at 1 p.m. against Aurora. We look forward to seeing a sea of green in the stands and support for mental health. Coming out of the timeout, the Edgewood timeout, the Eagles trailing the Cougars 17-12. As back to serve will be Haywood. Haywood, a strong serve, popped up by Borhart. Borhart palms it over. Here comes Haywood now. Vernango to Dickin. Is it out? It is, so point Edgewood. (17-13) as Gunderson goes back to serve. Levoy, an attempt there, takes a ricochet off the hands of Hoffman, and because of it, Cougars, they get a point. Marin, her serve over. And Berulman tries to get back in the point column for Edgewood. That hits the pin off Foley's hand, so CUC will drop a point, 18-14. CUC 6 away from prolonging tonight's match, while Edgewood, they are 11 away from clinching tonight's match. Foley to Vernango. Here comes Brown, a strong attempt. Falk in the back row, able to keep it alive. Berulman from the side as Vernango sets up Brown. Whistle blows. Violation on CUC. 18-15 the score now. Edgewood inching their way back here in set 3. Coach Palmer signaling to his team, just keep it going. They were doing good work up by a decent point margin on the Eagles. As the Eagles trying to crawl their way back in this one. Dickin, that one rides the net for a second. Cougars mishandle it, and it's now a 2-point lead for CUC. Edgewood showing why they're undefeated, even in a set where they're up 2-0 in the match. They're not going down easy. As Kennedy Kabat gets the go-ahead to serve. She does. Cougars play. Here comes Brown. She slams it down. Acacia Brown loves that play at the net. She loves those 50-50 balls, but she always does exactly that with hammers the ball, gets her team a point. Cougars back in the point column, 19-16. They're on top as Eve Dickin, her serve. It's played by Berulman. Now it's back to Berulman. She does what she's been doing all night. Kill number 14 for Ashley Berulman leads this match as Edgewood able to pull back within 2. 19-17 to serve is number 8, Abby Evans. Evans gets the go-ahead to serve from the Lanner official. Evans serve played by Foley, by Vernango. Now Brown. It's right back to Evans to Gunderson. Here comes Ullman. Blocked up front. Acacia Brown, a solo block. Keeps the play going. Cougars back in control. Brown doesn't get a ton on it. And because of that, that'll be an Edgewood point. They trail now by just one. 19-18 in favor of CUC. Edgewood has been down by as much as 5 in this set. Haywood now for Brown. She finds a weak point. Might have hit some blockers' hands on the way down. That's point number 20 for CUC. They're 5 away. Edgewood, they get a point back, down by just 1. Brulman, her serve right to the hands of Kate Foley. Here comes Brown, a flying attack, and it hits the line. CUC gets the point off Air Brown's attempt, and they are up by 2 once again, 21-19. Brulman. And now it'll be Borhart, and she gets a kill. Eve Dickin falling for the dig. It hits their hands and goes out. 21-20. Edgewood keeping it close. Haywood, bit of a bad reception. Isabel Vernango able to keep it going. Here's Shire Marin to Grace Haywood, blocked. Huge block by Hoffman and Falk, and we are tied up at 21. Hoffman and Falk, a combined 11'11". It's going to be hard to get a ball over that duo, and CUC does get a point off the error as Vernango goes to the service line. Vernango, a high arcing. Willie has to come all the way in. Service ace. And the Cougars 2 away from prolonging this match. And so the Eagles, they're going to have to call a timeout as they trail the Cougars 23-21 in set 3. Possible clinching set for the Eagles. The Cougars, they need to win it to keep the match going. Find out if they can do it when we're back in just a second on the Cougar Sports Network.
We appreciate you tuning into today's game. To stay up to date on all things CUC women's volleyball, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at CUC_volleyball. We'll see you on campus soon.
Finding out more about Concordia Chicago, head to cuchicago.edu for more information on our university. We appreciate you tuning in to today's game and hope to see you at CUC very soon.
Cougars 2 away from prolonging this match. They have a must-win set 3, and they are so close to doing it. 23-21 in favor of CUC. Edgewood, a win here. They will close out this match. Cougars looking to avoid their second straight sweep. They've lost 5 straight sets dating back to Saturday's 3-0 loss against St. Norbert. As Isabel Vernango, her serve is high, played off the biceps of Brulman. Here comes Falk. She finds Marin. Now Vernango, she finds Haywood. It's blocked up front, lands right in front of the feet of Coach Palmer. Cougars set point here. Cougars 1 away from forcing set 4. Isabel Vernango, her serve is out. It'll have to wait. 24-22 now. Edgewood needs to score 2 more straight. Two more straight for Edgewood. They'll force extra volleyball. Here comes Hoffman. Her serve is just inside the line. A service ace when they need it most. 24-23. They need 1 more point to force extra volleyball. Hoffman to Foley. Vernango for Dickin, and it is down. Point Cougars. We're going to set number 4. Cougars save themselves from a loss for a little bit longer at least, as we will head to set 4. Edgewood still 1 set away from clinching it, but the Cougars making things interesting here in Geisman. We'll be back in just a couple minutes on the Cougar Sports Network as we get ready for set 4 action. Edgewood on top of CUC 2-1.
Fans, thanks for tuning in to today's game. For more information about the women's volleyball program, head to cucougars.com. We hope to see you at our next game.
About a minute away from the start of set number 4, excuse me there. As we're getting ready to resume action. Edgewood on top of CUC 2-1. CUC 1 set 3 to keep things going here in the game, as Edgewood will look to instead close things out in this set. Set number 4. We're about 20 seconds away now. I do want to say thanks to everyone making tonight's Cougar Sports Network production possible. Down at the scores table, we have Wyatt McLaughlin, Abby Kulig, and Emily Balaban. Then up here on cameras, William Bishop Green producing, Janie Turnez and Sydney Lloyd. Sebastian Miller floating around taking photographs, as he's actually currently bringing a handful of cups to the scorer's table, I believe providing the refreshments. Swiss Army knife of a student worker here in CUC's Athletic Communications Department. Meanwhile, the Cougars put together their best set of the night in set number 3 when they needed it most. 25-23 point victory, as they got their hitting percentage up a little bit. It's at .072 now, which, while still not a great marker, is better than where it's been. This ball is going to take a bounce off the basketball hoop, the folded up basketball hoop, as Eve Dickin gets it back after her initial serve, and the Cougars strike first here in set 4. CUC has opened up every set by scoring first. It's led them to 2 set losses and a win, so no real correlation there as Eve Dickens' second straight serve played by Ullman. Here comes Borhart. She gets the kill off the blocker's hands and out. 1-1 the score. Serve now is Hoffman. There's Foley to Vernango. Here comes Acacia Brown, a hard attempt. Edgewood able to respond. Hoffman sets up Borhart, and neither Cougar in Marin or Haywood could get to it. It was a little over both their heads because of it. 2-1 the score now in favor of the Cougars still. Excuse me, in favor of Edgewood. 2-1 in favor of the Eagles. Kate Foley, her attempt is stopped by Hoffman. There's a block up front. Vernango and Brown. And Borhart, she pushes it over. Cougars respond. Foley sends a freebie over it. Willie's right there. Here comes Pond, a strong attempt that had touched some Cougar paws. It did not. CUC ties it up at 2. Zoe Pond get another error under her name. Should get another error under her name. See how our official scores rule it as Kate Foley sends her serve over. It is out, so Edgewood point. That was an error on Zoe Pond, but then a service error from Foley. As Gunderson to serve now for Edgewood. Gunderson just over the net and out of play off the Cougars' hands. Edgewood, they'll take a 4-2 lead here in set number 4. Must win for the Cougars. Edgewood, they can clinch the match with it. As Gunderson gets another service ace. That one lands right in front of the feet of Eve Dickin. And because of it, it's now 6-2. Edgewood coming out firing here in set number 4. CUC, they scored the first point, but Edgewood outscored them 5-1 since CUC somehow keeps it alive, only momentarily. And it's now 7-2. This one getting out of hand early in set 4 for a set the Cougars have to win if they want to keep their match hopes alive. Gunderson. Her serve to Dickin. Here's Vernango now for Haywood. Haywood, she hits it out. Cougars having some problems just playing clean volleyball right now. And that's going to force a timeout by Coach Palmer and the Cougars as his team just needs to settle it down right now and get back to playing some effective volleyball. So while the Cougars talk things over, we'll take a break here on the Cougar Sports Network. And when we're back, CUC, they trail Edgewood 7-2 in set 4. Seven to 2, Edgewood leads here as they're just breaking up their huddle. The Cougar court players back on the court. They're talking things over amongst themselves after breaking up their huddle with Coach Palmer. Trailing by 5 here early in set 4, trailing in the match 2-1. Edgewood looking to clinch this one in the set and walk away from Geisman 5-0 on the year, maintain their lead in conference play. As Gunderson's serve is going to turn into a service ace. Shira Marin can't get a good handle on it, and because of it, Coach Palmer is going to make a switch here. Eve Dickin out. In comes Katie Hadel. Hadel is as a defensive specialist. The CUC is just having problem receiving this ball. They do there. Here comes Acacia Brown. That's the first attempt we've seen from the Cougars in a minute. As now Bruhlman, she just flips it over. Does it stay in the line? It doesn't. CUC, they end the 6-0 Edgewood run. They pull back within 5, 8-3. Carissa Lind in to serve. And that almost turned into a service ace off of Gunderson, but Edgewood able to recover nicely. Lind now to Haywood. Haywood, a rocket. Does it stay in? It does. Point Concordia. They're now down 8-4. Service error on Carissa Lynn. The junior, sends it out the back of the court. And it's now 9-4 in favor of Edgewood as that serve hits the back of a player. Falk serve, friendly fire as she nails Reagan Doherty in the numbers. That was Corin Harrington she hit in the back of the numbers. Either way, turned into a service error, and making up for it is Zoe Pond. A strong attempt. Makes it 10-5. Edgewood doubling up the Cougars once again. Served by Evans. Here comes Vernango to Dickin. Falling to get it is Gunderson. Nice play there by the sophomore as an attempt goes out. Violation on Edgewood. Waiting for what the call was. It was out, but Edgewood got a violation tagged onto him, which means CUC point Grace Haywood to serve. Haywood. Her serve is too strong outside the near side corner, and that makes it now 11-6 as Bruhlman to serve. Bruhlman, 14 kills on the night. She has cooled off as of late. Her hitting percentage down to 281. It was almost at 400. It was even at 400 for a second as she commits a service error there. 11-7 now. CUC trying to sneak back in this one as they trail in this match 2-1. They trail in this set 11-7. Shire Marin, her serve played by the opposing libero in Genesee Willie, and the Eagles get a kill there. Makes it 12-7 as Willie, she'll serve. Fernango for Brown, and that takes a bounce off the hand of Bruhlman. CC gets another point back down by 4, 12-8. Here comes Borhart. Cougars able to keep it alive. Kate Foley, she's foiled by Willie, and that one put in no man's land. For once, Bruhlman taking the gas off the attempt. She elects for accuracy, put it where nobody was, gets a point out of it, 13-8. And service error off the attempt from Hoffman. Makes it 9-13, 9 serving 13. Kate Foley will do the honors for CUC. Foley, a running start to serve, way too strong. It is now 14-9 in favor of the visiting Eagles. Edgewood, they're coming off their most recent win, a non-con sweep of Dubuque. They, in fact, have not lost a set in in 7 straight matches. So 7 straight set wins for Edgewood. Coming into tonight, they picked up another 2 for 9, and then CUC ended that streak last set. So what a run Edgewood's been on as of late, playing extremely good volleyball. That's why they're tied for the top of the conference in conference record, officially first in the standings. And CUC trying desperately to give them their first loss of the year. 14-10 the score. As Genesee Willie, she goes down, a futile effort of errant dig, and it's now 14-11. Lind gets a service ace. The Edgewood bench called out. Gunderson listened. It was not out. And that's going to force an Edgewood timeout by Coach Slomer, as they've seen their lead shrink down to just 2. Edgewood on top of the Cougars, 14-12 here in Geisman. We'll be back in just a second on the Cougar Sports Network. Timeouts breaking up here in Geisman. Edgewood called that last one because they've seen their lead here in set number 4 shrink to just 2. And CUC, it's a must-win set 4 for them. It was a must-win set 3. They did it. And now they have to keep it going. That attempt from Bruhlman hits the pin. CUC point, they're within 1. (14-13) as Carissa Lind to serve. Weird reception there from Falk. Edgewood able to work with it. Pond delivers there. Gets that lead back up to 2. Edgewood, they were basically cruised through the first 2 sets. Set 1 was relatively close, 25-23, but that was largely thanks to a late push by CUC. And then set 2, a 25-17 point win for Edgewood. Not much of a challenge there for the Eagles. But since then, Edgewood's found themselves up against a new CUC team. As that goes off the blocker's hands and way out, 15-14 now. CUC a chance to tie as Isabel Vernango back to serve. Vernango on the night has 32 assists. As she's going to get a dig there. Nice defensive play by Vernango. Kate Foley now. Her attempt stopped by Hoffman. Gunderson to Pond. Pond Her attempt popped up by Foley. CUC finds some energy from the bench. Gunderson pushes it over. Vernango, a diving one-handed effort. Here comes Dickin, blocked up front, popped up by Levoy. Here comes Haywood. It's blocked down. Edgewood point. Eagles win a tough volley. CUC giving it their all. Multiple players leaving it all out there. Isabel Vernango ended up on the ground. But Edgewood eventually comes out the victors of the volley. They're up 16-14. That serve hits the net. Cougars pull back within one, 16-15. Haywood, she'll serve. Gunderson receives the serve. Hoffman tries to just float it over. Cougars aren't able to respond well enough, and it's now going to be 17-15. Bruman, her serve is handled by CUC. If Dickin finds some space, Cougars back within one. They haven't been able to tie this one up, but they're not letting it slip too far away either. 17-16 the score as Shia Marin. A big serve here for CUC as they're looking to tie this set up. Evans, he finds Hoffman, who finds a dig from Marin. Hoffman now. Here comes Evans again. Bruman, a strong attempt. Is it in? It is. Bruman just finds enough space inside the line. And it is 18-16 as Willie goes back to serve. Cougars give it to Brown, who gets stuffed at the net. Brown went up for the block. It only caught a piece of her hand. And the serve now is Willie. 19-16 as 19-16 as Edgewood trying to find some separation. They do here. 20-16. And that's going to force a timeout by CUC. Coach Palmer's first of the set. And we're going to take a break here on the Cougar Sports Network as well. CUC, they were close, but now they find themselves down by 4 here in set 4. Edgewood on top, 20-16. We'll be back in just a second on the Cougar Sports Network. Edgewood back on the court. They're looking to close this match out. They went up 2-0 on the Cougars after a dominant 25-17 set 2 win. But since then, they've been running into some troubles with the CEC team. Lost set 3, 25-23. And then this set 4, Edgewood was up by a hefty margin in the early goings. And since then, they've found CUC showing excellent resilience. They pulled within 1, and now they trail by 4. 20-16 as that's an errant reception on Marin. And Edgewood now 4 away from going 4-0. 5-0. They are 4-0. 1 away from going 4-0. One more set wins what Edgewood needs. Vernango now for Foley as Willie. She can't handle that attempt. Her dig attempt hits off the ladder. 21-17. Evans sets up Falk and does it perfectly. Abby Falk finishes off the kill, 22-17. Edgewood just needs 3. CUC, they need 8. Hoffman gives the ball a good couple bounces and a spin, sends it over. Foley for Vernango. Here comes Acacia Brown, blocked up front. Falk and Pond. Falk has been a menace blocking tonight. She has 3 going into that volley. Now she'll have 4. She is tied for the match lead with Abigail Hoffman. Those two have been nearly unbeatable for Edgewood, as they are now just 2 away from going 5-0 on the year. Haywood, she almost takes off Willie's head with that one. I think Willie was trying to get out of the way to let it go out. Instead, it hits a piece of her arm, 23-18. CUC, they need a big run here. Pull back in it. Foley, a service ace, Kate Foley. She's found the service ace magic. She'll have 24 now. She'll have 4 now, excuse me. 24 would be pretty ridiculous. She'll have 4 service aces. What a night from Kate Foley on the service line, but what a night it's been from Edgewood's offense. Up 24-19. 1 away now from clinching set 4 and winning this match 3-1. Fernango, here comes Haywood. She'll keep the Cougars alive. We'll get match point again here for Edgewood. Cougars need 4 straight. They cannot afford any mistakes here. Carissa Lind. The serve played by Willie. Hoffman to Ullman. And this one still going. Kate Foley's got to send it over. She can't. Point Edgewood, match Edgewood. Edgewood takes set 4, 25-20. They take the match 3-1 here in River Forest. Cougars, they gave the Eagles a run for their money a couple times, but Edgewood just too potent a team offensively and defensively for the Cougars to be able to pull through. And because of it, Edgewood's going to walk away the 3-1 victors of the match. Let's look at some of the stat leaders from tonight. In terms of kills, Grace Haywood and Ashley Brulman, they both tied with 17. Acacia Brown, she had a nice night with 15. Also a 375 hitting percentage, so Acacia Brown not only getting a lot of kills, doing so in an effective manner. In terms of the assist category, Isabel Vernango with 36. She led the way. Wow. In terms of digs, it was Genesee Willie with 22. Also shot out Kate Foley, 4 service aces. She has an equal, though, in Kate Gunderson. She has 4 as well. Not often you see 2 players with 4 service aces in one match, especially one that went just 4 sets. But that's how it goes tonight, and it also goes Edgewood beating the Cougars 3-1. The Eagles, they improved to 5-0, excuse me, in conference play, 12-4 overall. Cougars, they'll fall to 7-10, 1-4 in conference play. But that'll do it for this production of the Cougar Sports Network. Wanting to thank everyone who made that possible. On the scores table, we had Wyatt McLaughlin, Abby Kulig, and Emily Balaban. Then up here in the broadcasting level, William Bishop Green on camera. Janie Turnez and Sydney Lloyd are producers for the night. We are also, almost forgot to mention, Sebastian Miller, our photographer. We are under the direction of Sydney Palaska-Slaher, our assistant SID, and Kayla McLeod, our sports information director. But that'll do it from Geisman. Eagles, they take down the Cougars 3-1. Cougars, they will be back in action this Saturday, a 5 p.m. matchup. They'll be back in action tomorrow, a 7 p.m. matchup at North Central College. They'll be back in action in Geisman on Saturday, a 5 p.m. matchup against the Milwaukee School of Engineering. That'll also be Senior Day. Coverage for both those matches can be found on our website, CUCougars.com. But until next time, this is Peter Borkowski signing off the Cougar Sports Network and wanting to say, as always, go Cougars.
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's Concordia University Chicago Cougars Athletics broadcast. We hope to see you on campus very soon. If you would like to learn more about what Concordia Chicago has to offer, go to cuchicago.edu.